Hey, come see us on tour. I'll be in Davenport, Iowa, Las Vegas, Nevada, Chicago. You tweeted this out. She says, has Appeal made it to a grocery store near you? I don't know what Appeal is. Do you know what that is, Misha? I don't know what that is either. But watch this. This is going to be a little mind blowing. It was a lot mind blowing for me. Here we go.
Are Costco and Whole Foods selling fake fruits?
What?
I've been hearing about this, but check out what's happening to these people.
When she opens it and she breaks it in half, it gets very tough and doesn't really break.
You see this?
And when it pulls, it's like it's glue.
Like, it's not even breaking, like, at all. Like, it, and I know you guys can't feel the texture, Avi, right? Because it's a video. But, like, it literally feels fake.
Those of people posting rubbery watermelon. I can't believe I got one. I got a rubbery watermelon. The texture is so weird. Like,
but there's a clanking, and it sounds like something's stuck. So I go in the drain, and there's a blueberry.
So there was something in her, I guess, food disposal, and it sounded like something went stuck. She goes in the drain, and guess what she pulls out?
Not breaking apart. It's not doing anything. It's what's making the noise. And I pick it up, and why is there a rubber blueberry in my toddler's snack? This came from the carton of blueberries. My husband cut it in half. I really don't know if you can see it that well. Glistening, it's silicone. It's a silicone blueberry. It is a solid rubber blueberry. She is under 2. I got this at Whole Foods also. Organic. I was trying to, do the right thing.
Hey, shalom, shalom, all praises, honor, glory goes to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rachak, Wadash. Double honors to the apostles, Elder Bishop, the Great Millstone, who rule well. Peace and blessings to you fellow brothers pushing his word in truth and sincerity. Shbechnak, coming back with another lesson through the spirit and power. Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rachak, Wadash. Shalom, shalom to all the believers out there. And as you see, this is from the Jimmy Dore Show. I check him out every once in a while. The title of the video is Whole Foods Selling Rubberized Fruit as Organic. Okay, and as soon as I saw this, you shake your head, you're like, damn. But the scripture, of course, you already know what scripture came to mind. Let's go to that scripture. But this is what's this is America. We heard about all the fake foods in China, with the Moabites, and a lot of Whole Foods goods, actually come from China. Even what's it called? The so-called organic. The 365 brand is from China. Give me a second. All right. Let's read. Let's just go right to the scripture. It's not going to be long. Okay, Ezekiel 4:13, and the Lord said, even thus shall the children of Yasha'Allah eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whether I will drive them. So we actually are eating fake foods here in America. You go to a restaurant and, you eat some food and it kind of don't feel right. When you come back home, you got some indigestion, your stomach hurt, you might get sick. And then, you're trying to buy organic foods, and the organic foods are, a lot of times they're still GMO, but they're being called organic. And then in this case too, they're fake foods. So the people are deliberately being poisoned, especially you Americans. Okay, there's so many goods that are not legal to sell around the world that can be sold here in America. Okay, and it's done on purpose. There's a lot of byproducts from petroleum, a lot of byproducts from nuclear waste, okay, from mining, fracking, okay, the different production of these chemicals from these different chemical plants. And what do? They put it right back into your food supply to destroy you, and that plays right into their medical industry. Okay, big pharma. Okay, let's. There was another video here. I was watching this one. It's similar as well. And individuals are going in, and stuff like this would probably be, you know, in the very near future they're gonna ban it on YouTube, and this is why they want, you know, to get TikTok out of there, because it's not controlled by you know, the US, right? So especially things that go up against the United States and against the small hats, you know, it gets pushed on those platforms. And I believe TikTok has banned is banned. They have so many months to find a owner in the United States if they want to continue to keep going. Let's play a little bit of this, because this is a basically a trend going on, a viral thing going on on TikTok, where people are exposing the fake foods that they are buying from, you know, Whole Foods and Costco. You know, and certain people are eating these foods. These things get slipped into your food supply, you know, to poison you. And that's basically what this damn devil, okay, is doing.
Here, and you're like my sister, questioning whether or not the government is poisoning us. You watch these TikTok videos right here, and you're like my sister, questioning whether or not the government is poisoning us. And this video is most definitely...
See, the government is poisoning us. All right, and that's all part of their plot. That's all part of their scheme. Okay, let's read this again, and I want to get another scripture, what Yahushua told us, you know, about poison. All right, and we you know, say you do encounter these things, you know, the Most High, he got us. He has his hopeful elect. Lord's will, we are of that number. We don't really have to worry about this. I mean, it's still there. It is, you know, it is frustrating. Okay. And you could fall sick, but the Most High, he'll heal you. Ezekiel 4:13, and the Lord said, even thus shall the children of Yasharahla eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whether I will drive them. So our bread is defiled. There's never been a time in history like now in which the foods that you eat are actually poison. And the cold thing about it is you actually need food. Like, you need food to sustain yourself. Okay, but we know that the true living bread is this word, this knowledge. That's what sustains us. That word is tama. Okay, unclean, impure. Okay, silicone, but look at this banana. Silicone bananas and silicone grapes and avocados that you know, with no pit inside. It's a complete madness. Why are they doing this? What's going on? Okay, the food supply is literally being poisoned, as well as is being destroyed. Culling of chickens, culling of cattle. It's gonna come to a point to where it's gonna be famine upon the land. All right, and you can't eat this. Okay, you can't eat this. You eat something like that, you're gonna get sick and possibly die. Okay, because it's not gonna break down in your body. So how many chemicals are inside the human body that are not being broken down? This is why you're sick. It was another video I was watching. It was this lady from this one company. Basically, she was like a whistleblower. You know, they fired her, but basically, she was she was in charge of some type of chemical. But basically, she pretty much analyzed blood of over, I mean, so many tens of thousands of people, and all found forever chemicals. And she was trying to whistleblow about the forever chemicals, you know, and they pretty much silenced her. But it's on the low. The truth is coming out. But basically, she said everybody on the planet has, you know, forever chemicals in their blood. They have a long shelf life, I guess. What's the half-life? They have a long half-life, basically a substance that breaks down in your body and is excreted. whether it's 2 days is a half-life, 5 days. You know, if you take like an Advil or something, it might have like a 24-hour half-life, meaning it's going to be inside your body for at least 24 hours before it's excreted out of the liver, out of the kidneys, through the urinary tract, through the colon, right? But these forever chemicals, they stay inside the blood. Okay? We're reading that defiled ethically and religiously, as it's impure ethically. They'll put pork. When you go to the grocery store, they got the pork right next to the lamb. Okay? They'll use the same blades. They'll use the same gloves to handle all the meat. They handling shrimp, catfish. Here you got the Alaskan salmon, and then they got the catfish right next to it. Juices of the catfish marinated in the you know, you think you eating healthy. So even if you are eating healthy, it's defiled. But of course, that doesn't give you excuse not to eat. You eating hot Cheetos. Like white rice. If you have a diet high in white rice, you're gonna be a very sickly person. Even all the literature going back into the medieval times tell you about polished. You know what? Hold on. Let me get a book. I got this book. This is from the middle, pretty much. Give me a second. Right. This is it's called a modern herbal from Mrs. M. Grieve. It says the medical, culinary, cosmic, and economic properties, cultivation, and folklore of herbs, grasses, fungi, shrubs, and trees, and their modern scientific uses. So it has the modern scientific uses, but all this information, the other side of that was from the medieval times. So like you have like medieval physicians and stuff like this, like a gathering of information. Let me read about rice, white rice. But even that, white rice is not necessarily bad, but it's very, since it's a main staple crop, especially here in America, that people eat, is being poisoned. It's poison, just like the wheat. Wheat is not bad. Wheat is good for you. But the wheat that we're eating, a lot of it is poison. Give me a second. Let me just find this. Okay, right there, rice. Let's see. Okay, yep. The medical actions and uses. This is on page 680. Medical, and this is a 2-part series book. It says the chief consumption of rice as a food substance, but it should never be forgotten that the large and continued consumption of white polished rices of commerce is likely to be injurious to the health. So they knew this back then. Okay. The nations of which rice is the staple diet eat it unhusked as a rule when it is brownish and less attractive to the eyes, but more nutritious as well as cheaper. Having no laxative qualities, rice forms a light and digestible food for those in whom there's a tendency to diarrhea, and it just goes into more. But basically, you're eating large consumptions of white rice, polished white rice, over a like there's nothing wrong. You eat it sometimes, but if that's like a main staple in your diet, it's injurious. Okay, it harms you. So regardless, as we're reading, everything is messed up. In a righteous kingdom, it wouldn't be, this wouldn't be so. Let me read this. Give me a second. Right, let's read what the Lord told us. Where's that at? Let me just Google it. Okay, yeah, Mark 18. Bear with me. Mark 18 and 18. They shall take up serpents, and if they drink any deadly thing, it shall not hurt them. See that? So we're eating deadly foods, man. It's only by the tender mercies of the scripture. The tender mercies. Let's get that. Tender mercies. Tender. Right? That we are not consumed. Where's that at? Let's Google it too. It might be in Lamentations 3 and 22. Right? It is of the Lord's mercies, right? Yeah, mercies that we are not consumed. Yeah, I mean, look at all the bullshit that we ate as children. Hot Cheetos and soda. I remember drinking sodas. Just guzzling the 3-liter bottle. Parents used to get the 3-liter bottles. Tampico, Kool-Aid, right? It is of the Lord's mercies that we are not consumed, because his compassions fail not. See? So the Lord's compassions upon his people fail not. Okay, yeah, so we are jacked up. A lot of it is to do with this food that we're consuming. Okay, you got brain fog, you can't think straight, you got anxieties. I mean, you can eat better, but regardless, you know, the moral of the story, or the matter of the fact is that everything is defiled, even the foods that are so-called organic, right?
For you. Now, ultimately speaking, the 3 that are showing up on TikTok the most are bananas, avocados, and watermelons, but we can commonly see
and
this
you got the Gates of Hell, the Microsoft guy, right? He has a company in which he genetically modifies fruits, and he sells it. So that's out there. A lot of the fruits. Give me a second. All right, Slocky. I forgot I had some tea brewing. A lot of the fruits, and even the animals, you know, are genetically modified, or at least pumped with different chemicals. So this damn devil, and this is deliberate. This is actually deliberate, and by the way that he he processes, and manufactures all these. You have a lot of byproducts from these manufacturing companies. What do? They just dump it, because it will cost way too much money to be able to actually dispose of those toxic substances the correct way. So what does he do? He'll just dump it right into the ocean. Look at all the plastic that's out there. All right, we all have microplastics in our blood. You waking up, I'll waking up nose stuffed. The air is all messed up. The chemicals that are in these apartments, these homes, are all carcinogens. The plastic bags that food is in, carcinogens. Everything is fucked up here in Babylon the Great. Nevertheless, by the mercies of Yahweh Shema Shai, let's read it again. Right? Lamentations 3 and 22. It is of the mercies that we are not consumed, right? Because we're being attacked through our food. A term called nutricide. Okay, which is a weaponization of nutrition, the foods that you eat, the foods that you consume, because his compassions fail not. But none of this is going to work against the elect, just as we read that if you, let's read it again. Mark 18:18. They shall take up serpents. Because remember what happened when Paul, when they got shipwrecked and they were on that island, and basically a poisonous snake bit them. And the people of that island marveled because they were sure that Paul was wicked and that it was judgment, because they just basically survived the shipwrecked. So a snake bit him and nothing happened to him. So they actually looked at him as a god. Okay, they shall take up serpents, and if they drink any deadly thing, and we are drinking and eating and consuming deadly things on a daily. Okay, it shall not hurt them. They shall lay hands on the sick, and they shall recover. So you're gonna have power. The men of the Lord in the very near future also are gonna receive power to heal the elect of different ailments. And I also had, I said it one time before, I had a dream about that. That it was a brother that got injured in Great Millstone, and the spirit was on me. I healed him. And then that information, you had individuals in the world that saw that, and they were chasing me, and I was running. And I was trying to get away from them because they saw that I healed. I basically brought the brother back to death. The brother pretty much died and brought him back to death through the spirit. And then you had so-called black individuals chasing me, and I was running, and then finally, it was like a dead end, and they wanted me to heal him, and I didn't want to, regardless. But even if I tried, I couldn't. The power didn't work. I was like, hey, there's nothing I can do. I can't do nothing. They were just looking at me. So the Lord is going to reserve. And Esau is purposely poisoning our food supply to weaken us. This is part of him weakening the nations, destroying the nations. Okay, because these toxic chemicals, they get into your body and they wreak havoc. So that some of those things could happen to us. Yet the Lord is going to have certain men of Yahweh Shema Shai, okay, actually heal, okay, the elect. So again, we don't have anything to worry about. It's just another thing to be upset about. Well, the scriptures say, he that increaseth in knowledge increaseth in sorrow. Okay, and in much wisdom is much grief. So you get grieved, you get sorrowful, but on the other hand, the understanding gives you that stability. You're not, like these people. These people are freaked out, man. These people are freaked out.
And so many different other fruits and vegetables. It actually comes down to 3 different factors. First one being excessive amounts of plastic inside of your fruits and vegetables. Half the crowd just was like, goodbye. Okay, so when it comes...
Let's read some comments. Sorry, plastic-like fruit is something that is abnormal, which goes back into that defile. Never in my 50 years have I seen it. Yeah, this is all, these things are new. Okay, they're being blatant now. Okay, I've seen dehydrated fruit and vegetables with while the texture is different, it is not what I've been seeing in videos. And for myself, something ain't right. There you go. And these people are gonna lose it once they find out that the powers that be are genuinely trying to destroy them. Okay. Sweetheart, who are you trying to fool? My family has been gardening for over 100 years. Never ever did anything like this once. Like this come out of the garden, and with no proper watering system. So drought is not an excuse for this, but people will fall for this excuse. They will fall for anything. Now, I mean, yeah, people do fall for anything. I'm not really sure her. Maybe it's more in depth in the video what she was saying. maybe she's here to basically debunk it. I don't know. Says I live in America, and PSA, in case you didn't know, we don't get our fruit from our backyards most of the time. They come from Mexico, Chile. Yeah, so she's, I guess her channel's gardening. She probably bringing excuses why these things are happening. Okay, set up. But yeah, none of us get our fruits and vegetables from. We don't grow shit. Like my grandmother, they had a garden. But when I got older, they had a garden when my dad was young and all that. They had gardening and chickens and stuff like that. Okay, but when I got older, they didn't have none of that. Just a lemon tree in the back, and some she always has a little small garden. Mustard greens and tomatoes. It was something small. You couldn't feed a family with it. So most of us, we all get our fruit and vegetables and meats and dry goods, beans and lentils and wheats, flours. We all get it from the grocery store, and you don't know where these things come from. You don't know how they're being handled. And Esau is a goddamn devil. He's genetically modifying shit. All right, so we are eating our food defiled amongst the Gentiles. Point blank, period, man. Okay, and this is another reason why the Most High is going to destroy this bitch. Now let me just get another. Let me just end it off. Precept coming to me. All right, just bear with me. And the foods that we eat directly affect not only our mood, our hormones, all the systems in our body. All right, because we are of the earth, so we must, eat things of the earth to sustain our life. But Esau, since he's the goddamn devil, okay, and he's purposely poisoning you. All right, he's in a lab somewhere tinkering with shit, spraying with chemicals. It's a mad team. Let me just get this point. This is Revelation 18:4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, "Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plague." And this is going to be literal. All right. The Most High is going to tell us through his son to come up, and that's going to be through those chariots. Okay, because this is Revelation 18 is pretty much the ending credits of America, Babylon, okay, being destroyed. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High has remembered her iniquities. And this is part of it. Feeding the people fake foods. Why? Why are you doing that? Well, because he wants to destroy you. He wants to destroy you, so-called blacks, Hispanic, Native Americans. I remember when he was giving them 1 cent burgers. It was from like McDonald's or Carl's Jr. One of them, or a couple of them places, was like 5 cent burgers, 1 cent burgers. And people were eating them burgers like, man, there's something wrong with these burgers, man. Okay, because Esau, he ain't gonna give you nothing for free. So there was something in that meat. Maybe who knows? Who fucking knows? But he's deliberately doing these things, especially trying to get to the elect. But none of these things. Let me get Isaiah. I believe it's 45, or is it 54? Maybe 45. So Isaiah 54, I believe. Is it 54? Right, there we go. Isaiah 54 and 17. No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper. No weapon that is formed against the elect is going to prosper. All right, and food, let's just type this in. Food as a weapon. Okay? Food as a weapon. How slave owners use food as a weapon. Yeah, because we're the slaves and they're the owners. And they can use food as a weapon against you. And that's what they're going to do. because they're artificially creating this famine, as well as poisoning the food supply at the same time. So they're destroying the food supply and then poisoning the food supply. And you need food to survive. Okay? Now, the Most High servants, they're going to eat. Okay? The elect are going to eat. It tells you that in Isaiah 65. So however the Lord does it, he can bring, we have stories of the Lord, bringing food from, raining down food from heaven, having angels bring food. The Lord can have an angel come and just give you food. I remember I was at the park one day and, I was just stretching and a lady just came and just brought me food, and then it just got me thinking, hey, the Lord is going to have it on these people's spirit to take care of his elect. Okay. So we not worried. We know Esau is using the food as a weapon. This is why you got to try to eat as best as possible. But at the same time, knowing that, hey, everything is fucked up regardless. But that still doesn't give you excuse to just do a mukbang. What was that? What script? Okay, yeah. No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn. Right, and we condemn it, the so-called white man, the Edomite. Okay. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and their righteousness is of me, said the Lord. Okay. I think that's, let's go back to Revelation. Let's just finish this last verse. Reward her as she rewarded you. What is she doing? She's poisoning the food supply to destroy you so-called Black, Hispanic, Native Americans. You have food deserts that are in you so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American neighborhoods, okay, that deliberately take grocery stores out. They could be 10 miles away, 15 miles away, but there's a corner store on every block filled with hot Cheetos and Funyuns and hot, you got the Arabs. I remember where I was at, you had the Arabs, they was cooking hot links because they knew Jake liked hot links. So they had the pork hot links, the beef pork chicken hot links, a grill outside the liquor store. And Jake will get it. You $1.50. You could get you $1.50. You get a chips, soda. These are Arabs, by the way. Okay, so they're gonna be rewarded as well. A lot of them gonna be here in America when it's destroyed. Okay, reward her as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works. In the cup which she has filled, fill to her double. So she's gonna get double. All right, but we not gonna feed Esau actual fake food. We not gonna feed you fake food. Okay, we gonna feed you gruel. Okay, you gonna have gruel. Cause feeding somebody plastic, that's the scripture said we gonna meditate, our heart's gonna meditate terror. So we gonna find ways to get you, but we gonna keep it righteous. Okay, because you gonna need energy to go out there and work. Okay, and he wants to kill off the Israelites ultimately. I'm gonna close it there until next time. Shalom to the legs.